All right, way back, if we get in our time machine, way back in 2016, the chief information security officer for Uber majorly screwed up and covered it up and got caught a few years later after Uber was sold to a private equity firm or somebody like that, and then went to court and got found guilty. And he just got sentenced. So let me kind of refresh everybody's memory on what happened. So in the early days of Uber, when they were still in startup mode, flush with billions of dollars in investment money, they had a breach. Hackers got in and compromised their full set of data. The hackers then extorted Uber and said, hey, if you pay us $100,000, we'll keep this on the down low. And the CISO at the time, whose name I'm completely forgetting, Joe Sullivan, he said, okay, we'll do that, but we've got to kind of keep it secret. So we're going to treat this as a bug bounty report, and we'll pay you the $100,000. We'll have you registered as like a security researcher. And they paid out the $100,000 to keep it hushed, and then it went away. Well, a few years later, when they IPO'd, I think is what actually triggered all this, it came to public light that they paid out this money and that there was actually a breach that they did not disclose. So the CISO got sued or got picked up on charges for that, lost, was found guilty for covering up this breach, and was sentenced. Now, if you had to guess, I guess both of you have read the article at this point. If I had to guess, like, what is the sentence for covering up a data breach? I think we've talked about this before.
I would have said jail time.
You'd think.
I would think jail time.
Especially with a company that was publicly traded where you have basically lied to your investors.
I mean,
people have gone to jail for a
crime
lot
done.
Yeah, Uber obviously doing well financially. The investors, I don't know if they've ever gotten a dime out of Uber. Are they profitable?
I have no idea.
They're still around. there's that.
What's Uber?
So I know the ride-sharing market is always up for tumult as various regulations are passed, but basically this guy got 3 years probation and 200 hours of community service. So if you've ever wondered what it's like to run up against some of these cybercrime fraud laws, not that bad. Really, in the general scheme of things, 3 years probation.
Hide it real good, and then as long as it's far enough removed, you're good to go.
Hey, 3 years from now, it's off your record.
Yeah.
200 hours of community service. I'll go pick up some trash on the highway.
Shoot, he probably gets to like that much community service by holding a banquet or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, spaghetti dinner.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they should send us some to drive Uber, right? Like,
yeah. You must be an Uber driver until you've worked.
You believe
off.
this was setting an example sentence? Because this doesn't seem like this happens a lot where somebody's actually charged and goes to jail or has some kind of repercussions here. Is this something that's relatively new, or is this something that we're going to see a lot more of?
If this is the example, we are screwed. Right?
So I reread the article like 3 times because I thought I was misunderstanding it when it said, if I have a similar case, this is quote, if I have a similar case tomorrow, even if the defendant had the character of Pope Francis, they would be going to prison, end quote. Judge William Orrick said during the sentencing on Thursday, quote, when you go out and talk to your friends, to your CISOs, you tell them that you got a break not because of what you did, not even because of who you are, but because this was just an unusual one-off, end quote.
So here's the deal. The judge wanted to sentence jail time.
Okay.
Right? But the breach and the cover-up happened prior to the IPO, and the investors who would have been affected made a ton of cash in the IPO.
Gotcha.
And so when you make the joke about it being a victimless crime, it kind of was. I mean, the only victims are the Uber customers,
right,
whose data was leaked out, but who cares about that?
Yeah, I mean, that was already probably out anyway.
Those are just little people.
There was another breach they were all involved in.
So as long as the investors didn't get affected, but that's what led to this super light sentence. So this hopefully is not a example of what it's going to be like in the future.
Gotcha.
Because there was a cover up. Now, where I get a little concerned is this guy got fired from Uber, right? And then went to be the CISO for Cloudflare.
Oh, yeah.
And Cloudflare, kind of a big player, handles the majority of the world's internet traffic. And then he left Cloudflare in 2022 so that he could spend time in his trial.
As you do.
So I don't know if he's going back to Cloudflare or not now that he's in the clear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're probably like, I'm back, baby. Get my
Well,
seat ready.
Anyhow,
I got stuff to cover up. Y'all didn't open that file while I was gone, did you?
yeah.
That'd be
Now-
bad if you did.
It's easy for us to armchair quarterback this one, right?
Well, it's weird because like I've seen companies get breached and they did everything they could. Like even before that, they had, what they thought was proper security, and then, the hacker just found some roundabout way and got in and breached and off they went, and then they went before a judge and the judge was like, "You've done wrong." And they're like, "We did everything we could." And you're like, "Jail." And you're like, "Whoa. How I don't get it. I don't pretend to understand.
At a minimum, it seems like this would be pretty easy to apply to ransomware.
Yeah.
That if you pay the ransomware and don't report the breach, right? That's effectively what they
did, yeah.
Right? So could you get 3 years probation and 200 hours for paying a ransom? Now, if there was an actual legal penalty
precedent,
for
yeah.
paying ransoms, that would put an end to ransomware.
Oh, yeah.
Like if nobody felt
'Cause
safe
I
paying
can't
ransom.
pay it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not legally allowed to pay the ransom. I mean, then a lot of cyber insurance companies would be going out of
It's totally punishing the victim, though.
Yeah.
Right? Like,
Yes.
that's the world we're in on this.
Yeah.
It's a shame.